You're listening to the N2K Space Network.
Looking for a career where innovation meets impact? Vanguard's technology team is shaping the future of financial services by solving complex challenges with cutting-edge solutions. Whether you're passionate about AI, cybersecurity, or cloud computing, Vanguard offers a dynamic and collaborative environment where your ideas drive change. With career growth opportunities and a focus on work-life balance, you'll have the flexibility to thrive both professionally and personally. Explore open cybersecurity and technology roles today at vanguardjobs.com.
Today is March 26, 2025. I'm Maria Varmazes, and this is T-Minus.
T-minus 20 seconds to LOS. T-dress. Go for deploy. Roger, roll.
Rocket Lab to launch a dedicated Aurora Tech mission from New Zealand as early as Thursday.
4.
High Leonard Technologies has signed an MOU with Take Me to Space to develop and test low-energy nuclear reaction compute modules in space.
3.
Sierra Space and Yuri have signed an agreement for a new space-based medical research mission.
2.
Sateliot has received a €13.8 million investment from the Spanish Society for Technological Transformation.
1.
The European Union Agency for Cybersecurity has released a new report on the threat landscape in space.
0.
It is Wednesday, everybody. I hope you're having a good one. Let's dive into today's intelligence briefing. And we're kicking off today's show at the cornerstone of N2K Networks' area of interest and expertise, cyber and space. The European Union Agency for Cybersecurity, also known as ENISA, has released a new report on the threat landscape in space. The document focuses on the cybersecurity challenges faced by commercial satellites specifically, examining cybersecurity aspects across all phases of a satellite's life cycle, from development, deployment, to operations and decommissioning. ENISA warned of potentially cascading effects stemming from attacks on satellites, including financial losses for businesses relying on satellites and potential disruption to essential services, causing societal harm and even loss of life. The report identifies various cybersecurity challenges facing the commercial satellite industry, including risks introduced by increasingly complex international supply chains and commercial off-the-shelf parts, as well as ongoing and developing threats from nation-states, cybercriminals, and even insiders. And most importantly, it also provides suggested remediations for the various risk factors that it outlines. The document presents detailed risk assessment scenarios which illustrate potential attack vectors and their impacts on satellite operations. And we should note that there is a sense of urgency in the report, which ENISA says is aiming to enhance the resilience of commercial satellite operations by providing stakeholders with insights into current and emerging cybersecurity threats, aiding, understanding, and mitigating risks. And we do hope that all satellite operators take note and work now to avoid potential pitfalls. Staying in Europe, Sateliot has received a €13.8 million investment from the Spanish Society for Technological Transformation. The funding was approved by the Spanish government's Council of Ministers, and the satellite communications company has just closed a Series B funding round, which raised a total of €70 million. Sateliot says the funds will be invested in a constellation of over 100 satellites, and they say the constellation is designed to ensure real-time connectivity in areas without signal coverage and will enable strategic applications across defense, security, logistics, and critical infrastructure management sectors. Sierra Space and Germany-based space biotech company Yuri have signed an agreement for one new science taxi biospin mission. And that mission will continue biological and medical research advancements and drug discovery in microgravity. The agreement builds on the partnership announced between the two companies in 2022 to deliver Yuri's science taxi incubator to the International Space Station. Under this expanded contract, Sierra Space will now serve as the primary provider of payload integration, logistics, and operational support for Yuri's science taxi throughout all mission phases. The culmination of the partnership will ultimately aim to provide scientific solutions for treating and curing diseases on Earth. Let's head on over to India now, where Highlander Technologies has signed a memorandum of understanding with Take Me to Space. The companies are working to develop and test low-energy nuclear reactions, or LENR-powered compute modules, in space. The company Take Me to Space says it's exploring multiple energy technologies, including LENR, to assess efficient methods for heat extraction and potential reuse in its compute-focused satellites. The companies say that LENR is also a potential alternative to the traditionally used radioisotope-based thermoelectric generators, or RTGs, to power deep space missions. For their first collaboration, Take Me to Space will provide the satellite platform and subsystems required to test Highlander's LENR-based thermoelectric generator in space. No details were shared yet about the schedule for that mission. And let's zoom on over to New Zealand now, and Rocket Lab has announced the launch window for its next mission from New Zealand. The Finding Hot Wildfires Near You launch is scheduled for Thursday, March 27th. The dedicated Aurora Tech mission is Rocket Lab's first launch for the Germany-based wildfire detection company. The launch is taking place on an accelerated timeline to meet the mission's time-sensitive requirements. The Spire-built satellites are aiming to enhance wildfire monitoring and detection, providing critical real-time data for fire response and prevention. That is it for our Intel briefing for this Wednesday. N2K senior producer Alice Carruth has some additional stories that didn't make today's top 5. Alice?
Thanks, Maria. Today we've included links to an update from ENISA Aerospace, who've now rescheduled their inaugural launch from Norway as early as tomorrow. Blue Halo has demonstrated their 2-terminal long-haul multi-orbit laser communication system. There's a Reuters article on Airbus saying it's in defence and space talks amid a spending surge in Europe. And the last is an article from NASA on the nomination of Greg Autry for CFO at the agency.
And as a reminder, everybody, you can find links to those stories in the selected reading section of the show notes in your podcast app and on our website, space.n2k.com. Hey, T-Minus crew, if you find our podcast useful, please do us a favor and share a 5-star rating and short review in your favorite podcast app. It'll help other space professionals like you to find the show and join the T-Minus crew. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Is your AppSec program actually reducing risk? Developers and AppSec teams drown in critical alerts, yet 95% of fixes don't reduce real risk. Why? Traditional tools use generic prioritization and lack the ability to filter real threats from noise. High-impact threats slip through and surface in production, costing 10 times more to fix. Ox Security helps you focus on the 5% of issues that truly matter before they reach the cloud. Find out what risks deserve your attention in 2025. Download the Application Security Benchmark from Ox Security. And now, a brief message from our sponsor, DropZone AI. Is your SOC drowning in alerts, with legitimate threats sitting in queues for hours or even days? The latest SANS SOC survey report reveals alert fatigue and limited automation are SOC teams' greatest barriers. DropZone AI, recognized by Gartner as a cool vendor, directly addresses these challenges through autonomous recursive reasoning investigations, quickly eliminating false positives, enriching context, and enabling analysts to prioritize real incidents faster. take control of your alerts and investigations with DropZone AI.
Welcome back. For one of our final stories today, this news made us go, holy shiitake, they're going to grow mushrooms in space. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of puns in this one. Buckle up. Oyster mushrooms specifically are of interest for this story. In just a few weeks, we will see the liftoff of FRAM-2, which is SpaceX's human spaceflight mission sending crew into a polar orbit. That mission is expected to last 3 to 5 days. And of course, a lot of science will be happening for the busy crew aboard. Australian Eric Phillips will be leading the mushroom experiment, among the many other things I'm sure he'll be doing. Hopefully, some oyster mushrooms will germinate, bloom, mushroom, and the experiment overall is to see how mushrooms, those nutritional powerhouses that they are, well, how they do in microgravity compared to control groups on Earth. And it's Australian company Food IQ that's making this experiment possible. They sound like fun guys. Sorry. And all these experiments about growing food in space, well, a lot of it's in hopes that one day when humans are interplanetary, we'll have figured out some of the hard stuff about growing food off-world, so we don't have to try and brown bag entire missions. It'd be so nice if other worlds had food already growing there for us, or at least the ability to easily harbor life. And hopefully one day that's a discovery we'll all celebrate. But until then, a recent analysis of Martian rock, thanks to NASA's Curiosity rover, shows that prebiotic chemistry on the red planet may have gotten further along than we previously thought. New analysis of a rock sample currently stored in Curiosity shows the molecules decane, undecane, and dodecane, all fragments of fatty acids that can be the building blocks of life, though they don't have to be, so let's not get ahead of ourselves there. The thing is that these compounds are the most complex yet found in Mars samples. Previously, we'd only seen really simple, small organic molecules. So, larger molecules like those mean more advanced organic chemistry existed on Mars. What that means, to be determined. Was there once life on Mars? Can't entirely rule that one out yet. Still, exciting times. That's it for T-Minus for March 26, 2025, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. For additional resources from today's report, check out our show notes at space.n2k.com. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. You can email us at space@n2k.com or submit the survey in the show notes. Your feedback ensures we deliver the information that keeps you a step ahead in the rapidly changing space industry. N2K Strategic Workforce Intelligence optimizes the value of your biggest investment, your people. We make you smarter about your team while making your team smarter. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester, with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I am your host, Maria Varmazes. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.
T-Minus.
Investigating is hard enough. Your tools shouldn't make it harder. Maltego brings all your intelligence into one platform and gives you curated data, along with a full suite of tools to handle any digital investigation. Plus, with on-demand courses and live training, your team won't just install the platform. They'll actually use it and connect the dots so fast, cyber criminals won't realize they're already in cuffs. Maltego is trusted by global law enforcement, financial institutions, and security teams worldwide. See it in action now at maltego.com.